All right, some a little bit of meditation we talk here about my history of crushing on girls. Man, I can remember it started all back far right I can remember, probably sooner, but my memory's hazy back in the youngin' days. I can remember being in El Paso, Texas. Had to be second, third, fourth grade, something like that. No, couldn't have been second or third. That was Alabama. Had to be like fourth or fifth grade. Jessica. Ah, I was crushing on her so hard. I still remember her. I can still vaguely remember her face. That's another side note. Your memory is weird. If I vaguely remember her, she looks exactly like she looked, but then if I really look at the image, it's not even close to what she looked like if I really look at it. There's some kind of weird thing with that. Anyway, um, Jessica. Oh, little fourth grade crush, little pale skinned, I guess Mexican girl. It was El Paso, Texas. She had the palest skin. I don't know if she was wearing makeup at that age. I remember her skin being super pale. Anyway, oh boy, did I have a bad crushing so hard on her. Never talked to her. This is fourth grade. I didn't even think there was a thing to talk to her. You just know that you look at her and hey, something about that. Yeah, you don't take it much more. She's just like, I like her, kind of deal. Anyway, oof. After that, this one was Athena, an older woman. Couldn't have been much a year from this last one. Me and this younger dude. I mean, we were young, fifth grade maybe. Both crushing on this older girl who knew. Now that I look back, she knew what she was doing. We're just getting into that. But, again, we're young and innocent mostly. We're not thinking about anything other than we kind of liked her and probably wondering why we're, like, irritated with each other because we're like best friends. And they don't really understand it, maybe. Or we do understand it. I can't quite remember. At that age, I mean, I probably knew I liked her. For whatever reason, though, Athena. I remember some kind of also. This was El Paso, Texas again, because she also was Spanish and Mexican, some kind of Latin thing. Skinny, pointy face, tall compared to where I was at the time. She had to be at least 3 years older than us, 4 years older than us. I'm guessing. Oh, who else? Let's see, moving through El Paso years, Bassett Middle School. Don't remember her name, didn't really have a crush on her. She had a crush on me, I know that. Moving through high school, oh boy. That's the one. Corinne. This girl named Corinne I had in my art class. This milky white skinned blonde with this bubble butt. By that time I was in high school, and I had a crush on it. Man, I just get crushes, just instantly, man. Not instantly, but I'll know. I'll know, and then the crush will build before you know it. I've lost myself, and that's what this talk is going to, by the way, about being able to crush, fall in love, and not lose yourself in it, thinking that now you need to be with this person to feel that love and have that complete whole feeling of yourself, which really is just your right at all the time to be able to feel that way. You just got your beliefs wrong. Anyway, Corinne, high school. I think the first time and one of the only times I told a crush that I liked her, and whatever else I said, boy, I cannot remember. I think only twice in my whole life have I done that. Not because once was over the internet, and I don't count that. And the other times is people hooking me up with people, or the friends talking to me first. None of that counts. But me just crushing on someone and going up and talking to them twice. Corinne Ingold was the first one. I think 11th grade maybe. She was a grade higher than me. Started crushing me in art. Eventually told her. She just kind of, she was sweet. Kind of looked at me that kind of like cute, like, oh, because she knew she wasn't into me, or who knows what she knew, but it was something. But, it sucked. But it wasn't that bad. Could have been worse. But it sucked. It could have been worse. Well, looking back, I was proud of myself for doing that. I just get so, it seems to happen, I just get so overflowing with the feeling of like infatuation for him. It comes a tipping point where I got to say something. I got to talk to him. I got to get close to him. I got to give it a chance. It just feels way too strong. And of course, at the time, I'm not thinking like that, especially back then. Anyway, Corinne, that's high school. Out of high school, I don't think I had many more crushes like that out of high school. I might be missing someone here and there that I had infatuation for, maybe. For I've been in some relationships that were good or bad for me. You know, just I think. Oh yeah, we'll get to that one. When did that come? So we're just out of high school. That's next. Okay, the big end. God. Okay, so then there's Meegs. Red-haired, beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. I can't even explain it. Got me into redheads for a while, although I'm not really that into redheads. But she was a beautiful girl. I met her doing martial arts and tricking, going around to all the different states. Because all the tricksters kind of met on the internet. Talking forums and stuff, showing videos, making cool videos, and of us doing tricks and funny shit. And then we'd have gatherings and go. Anyway, I remember seeing her at top of these stairs at a Maryland gathering. We were all just crammed into this fucking house by the river. It was fucking great. And seeing her and see if she was combing her hair. Boom, instant. That was done. And I've never been hit that hard before. I couldn't stop looking at her, couldn't stop thinking of her. I was in love. So now I know what that meant. I was something about her. The universe needed me to interact with her, and what I was feeling was my own connection, but I had no idea that's what that was. I was feeling my own connection to source, interpreting it as me falling and crushing hard, face first, into dog shit for this girl. Beautiful. She was into like karate, martial arts, and she's just smart. I could tell. Weird. Something was weird about her. I don't know. She was just beautiful. Anyway, instantly. So I know what that meant now. So I didn't know it then, and I couldn't talk to her. It was a chicken gathering. We're all just having fun. It wasn't really a place. Plus, I was just too. So I just like never before this like this. Never. And pretty much changed the course of my life, because I'll tell you what. Anyway, gathering's over. I'm back at the house. She lives like in Pennsylvania. I live down here, hours away. I have so many hours, long. I'm in Virginia. And I told her, and I asked her to be my boyfriend through the internet, and she agreed. I couldn't believe it. So here me now making road trips up to Pennsylvania every now and then, in a freezing cold with no heater in my race car that has no interior inside of it. I didn't give a shit. Didn't care. I'll make the drive however long it was. 11 hours. I don't even know. I made that number up. It might not be that long, but it was long. Might be longer, actually. Damn. Anyway, that didn't last long, obviously. You know, I fell for her hard, but we didn't know nothing about it. And it's more to it than just that. And we were young. I didn't know anything. I was so naive. And I get the picture that they were a lot less naive than me. I remember being at a lunch or dinner or something with her and her mom. How awkward that was. Now that I look back to it. Before I was so naive, I didn't know. Anyway, I was done with that one. That one didn't work out. She had to break it off with me. Poor thing, because I had to suck, because I was just an emotional, stupid mess who didn't know anything about my emotions or what the fuck was going on, what I wanted, what was happening, if this was going to be good. It was horrible. And then I had the longest, darkest hour of pure death crying. Anyone knows what I'm talking about. Just pure death crying the whole bus ride back. I didn't drive my car that time. I actually had to take a bus. I remember that time, because I had a bus ride back with people around me. It's uncontrollable. It was horrible. They were nice, though. I could feel the person behind me wanted to console me. I mean, I was just... They probably thought, like, my whole family died or something. Anyway, so I felt bad for her, because she had to do that. But we all lived the life that we need to live to learn whatever we need to learn. So that had me depressed and down and fucked for pretty much up until almost now. I mean, that's taking it too far. That was early 20s. By the time I hit 35, I started coming out of that mess slowly. I'm 42 now. And this past year has been real progress for me. And it's not just her, but that was a big, big depression for me. A big wind back that set me off on the path. But then, what I was going to get to saying is trying to find a bunch of just always falling in love, but it was always lesser now. I was like trying to fill a void of her. Because I've never felt that way with her before. Just instant, like, oh my God. Never felt that. So now I'm looking for that. I didn't really know that was the case because I was always falling, crushing on girls, right? But I'm looking for that, and I can't find it. Girl after girl after girl. Small relationships leading to nowhere. Going on dating sites, leading to nowhere. Then getting turned around a little bit because the friends I was hanging out with and kind of losing that and being more of the party person, kind of just worried about fucking girls. And that didn't last very long because that was not me. It was mostly the friends I was hanging around and the fact that I was drinking bottles of vodka every day. It was a learning experience, but that definitely was not for me. So grew out of that pretty fast. As soon as the friends dropped away, that completely dropped away. And even when it was happening, if I was sort of sober, I could tell it was not me. But they kept the drinks flowing, and it was me too. It was me also. The Meek situation, I'm pretty sure, was one of the big reasons I started drinking. That, and I wanted to get over shyness for singing, but mostly because I was depressed. Because I felt true connection to source, my connection, and then it was gone. No offense to anyone, it's just the way it goes, and it was gone because I didn't know how any of that stuff worked. My belief systems were not set in the proper way yet, and I was just trying to fill that void for years. Still working and keeping a job for the most part, keeping it. Thank me for my metabolism, I guess. Anyway, so that was that. Many years of just drunkenness, trying to find people, honestly, but really no place. If I was to find someone in any of those years, from post Meeks to 35, I would have just found a person who was like me, who was also not knowing who they are, lost, looking for love, fucked up, depressed, confused, just ugh. But the whole time I was slowly getting myself out of it. I could look back now and see. I was slowly getting myself. I was a cork. I was going to float back up to the surface no matter fucking what. And that's what happened. All that. Only one time that I, in person, 2 times, which I'm coming up to. The next person is a little more recent, so I'm not going to say any names because there's no reason to start any extra weird shit. But crush on this next person. Just got a new job. Feeling good. Feeling out of that depressive stage. I'm more independent. I'm not codependent so much on other people in my life, and I forced it myself. I fucking built this bus. Fucking got a job at Waffle House. Saved up those tips. Built this fucking bus. And tried to be independent because it was big for me. I had to prove that I can just get out of this life that I somewhat set for myself with all the drinking, and I was going down a bad path, although it wasn't really all my fault, but we're not getting into that. It always takes 2 to tango. Out of that fresh new job, sunny day, I remember at the back of the job fucking picking up trash and shit, just happy as shit. Yes, it feels so fresh and new. It was like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. They're just working. There's beautiful girls there. They're all over the place, but I'm just trying to work, just happy to be there, just trying to stay busy. I'm happy to be moving my body again, and the work sometimes has heavy lifting in it, loving it, getting my body back in shape, feeling like I'm younger and younger. Not like I'm 41 or I'm 42 now. Not like I'm that at all, just getting younger and younger because I was just happy to be out of that phase, and it was a new portion of my life. I was knee deep in spiritual stuff, but I put it on the back burner because life gets in the way, and I just couldn't figure out how true it was. And I was a very logical, scientific person. I had to test it and figure out everything to be true to myself. I wasn't just going to listen to some person. Anyway, then I see that face, and I haven't had a crush or to fall for someone I told you pretty much all of them. I might have missed one here or there, I'm sure, and plenty of girls that did not equate to a crush. It's just either meeting someone and getting to know them, or just looking for sex. Both people kind of know that's what you're doing, it's life. But those days are long gone. But been single for many years. Oh, how did I forget? No, 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 no. Just like I almost forgot Meegs, the big crush in more ways than one that I told you about. Bus ride home. I forgot about Ashley. Can't forget about Ashley, the sweetest girl. That was a weird situation. I was out of it, doing spice, practicing guitar, just trying to find love. Oh, I forgot about Rose. Boy, did I crush on Rose hard, but that was just a mistake. We're not going to talk about that one. Rose was before Ashley, before my new job, after Meegs, way after Meegs. Rose was still in my way, drinking way too much, just holding it together. People might not know on the outside of my life, but I was a fool. Don't want to say anything about that. That was a weird situation, and I was not myself, but crushing nonetheless. Then Ashley comes up. I'm kind of over it. Dating websites, I'm over it. What am I going to do with my life? I'm fucking an alcoholic. I mean, I never really say that, but I say it because people have a meaning tag to that, and I drank a lot, so it would match. And I couldn't seem like I couldn't stop. But so that was Rose, Ashley, and then at my job, some person told me that someone might be into me, and she was a cute little white girl, manager of her little part of this company, and I had a kid, and living in this little small house. But we met, and while I did not feel that crushy, like fall in love feeling with her, but she was beautiful. Nothing wrong with it. I was like, that never worked out trying it that way. So how about we meet somebody and get to know them slowly and see if we build it that way? And for the most part, it kind of worked. Together for 5 years, my longest relationship. I lived with her. First, she had a little small place, like just small place, but then I guess her parents helped her get this house, another small place, but a way check up. She was moving up. She was happy, excited in her life. I was coming out of my little bit of depression, start too slowly, so we're both kind of coming out of worse times, I think, and that's why we met each other. I don't know the full details. I look back now, there was things about a relationship that I did not see or notice. I'm not going to say too much, but she was a sweet girl, but we just weren't meant to be. We weren't meant to be. I could have settled, and settling is not the right way, because she was nothing wrong with her. She was beautiful and nice and everything, and she was good. But I just did not feel the same way the whole time. Like, I was waiting for that super strong just feelings that I had when I fall for someone just naturally. And it never quite came. I did build a love for her and ended up loving her, and it was hard to leave her. But it was a different kind of love. It was different. And we spent a lot of time together. We argued too much about stupid shit. We couldn't. She learned guitar because of me, and she had a beautiful voice. I don't know. We could not play together. Some kind of emotional stuff going on, like crying and thinking I was making fun of her, or I don't know. I was on drugs, and I was never doing that. But there's some kind of trauma getting unleashed when we were trying to play music together, probably on both of our sides. Anyway, this is getting into it. That didn't last long. Nothing wrong. 5-year relationship. She's just gonna kind of stay with her because there's nothing wrong with her. And it was good, and she was nice, and she liked me. But it just wasn't right. And then time over time, I had to go. I had to go. And now I know why I had to go. I had shit I had to do that I couldn't do when she was around. Plus, I was still drinking way too much. I just had to get by myself and heal. I didn't know that at the time, but that's what it had to be. And I just felt it, and so I had to leave. That was that. Not really a crush, but a real relationship. It just didn't work out. It just wasn't right. But we came together, and whatever we needed to learn or had the chance, potential to learn, that's what we came together for. And now we left. And then years, and then not too many years, but years. And then I find the job where I'm at now, all happy and shit that I'm free, not from this girl, but just independent. I built the bus. I'm out here living. I got the job. Things are looking up. Living paycheck to paycheck, but I got a little bit of money in the bank. I'm not rich. I'm wearing the same clothes for so many. I'm saving money on so many things. But I got a new job. So there I am. And I worked this job for a while, just working, looking at the beautiful girls, trying to think again, starting to finally think, maybe we can think about doing a relationship again. I don't know about that. I think maybe I want to be single for a while. And that's basically what I'm doing when I'm at work, just admiring the beautiful girls. Then I see her face, the newest crush. Almost instantly, didn't feel like Meigs. Not that just, whoa. But I knew something was there. I was like, something's about that face. Who's that? And so, subtle games of looking at each other, side-eyeing each other. Both of us smart enough to know we're looking at each other. Maybe there's a little fishing going on, a little baiting me, because I'm naive, and I grew a lot since that year. But anyway, whatever she was doing, I felt like I was under a spell. I was crushing hard, and I was so happy. You know why? Not because I'm crushing hard, but just the fact that I can still crush. I was like, I can still happen. Out of all this shit that's happening, I can still feel this way for some complete random stranger I don't even know. It's fucking amazing. So I was just on cloud nine. New job, got a girl that just, maybe she's interested in me. I think she's beautiful. Now I'm on cloud nine, just fucking everything's starting to go right. And I can't stop thinking about this person. It's gotten to the point now I call it in my head a super crush, and I'm saying in my head, all right, you got like a super crush. It's actually being insane. 24 hours, you can't stop thinking about her. This has never happened before, never this strong. And so, my second time ever telling a girl that I was into him in any way. It's always awkward, by the way. Had to. There's no way I had to, because I start to get, the feeling is so intense where I'm like, I'm going to regret if I don't do something. Because even if it's a rejection or whatever, I'll still be happy that I know. I got to know, because this feeling is crazy. There's got to be something here. And it was a catalyst for me to grow about 5,000 times stronger than I am now with my confidence and my understanding of the reality and universe. I didn't know that at the time. So I went up to her. Oh, so nervous. So nervous. If only I had the wherewithal to turn that into excitement. At the time, I didn't. I did not. Oh. She was finally alone. Oh, we work at kind of a crowded place. And I am not a public person. At least at first with this stuff. There's no way. Even if I had all the confidence in the world, there's someone standing next to her, you know that's not happening. Well, she's never going to be together. Anyway, so I do it, and it doesn't really turn out the way I want. But from my point of view, I get lots of mixed signals, so I'm hanging on to hope. It could have been a tactic on her part. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. The crush. What's going on? I was just supposed to talk about, and I just go off on a tangent. So this was a crush. Super crush, and I was doing it again. If this was a narrative in the story, he's like, and Antoine did it again. He didn't learn his lesson. He's giving his power away. But we're gonna keep on giving him these things until he learns. And it was that. Now, between meeting this new one, Ashley, I was dating as I was starting to get into the spiritual stuff. So she got the brunt of that. And then just before Ashley too. So I've already kind of got some spiritual knowing under my belt. Not really. I just listen to a lot of different people, and I have opened my mind up that could be things going on, and I'm working my way through it, trying to figure out what it is. And then, so when I meet this person, I super crush, and just before I tell her I was feeling immense amounts of energy, and I knew what to do with it because I'm like, oh yeah, okay. What you focus on becomes more. So I'll take this time. This is so strong. I'm gonna take this time to sit here and just focus on it. So that's what I did night after night after night after night after night, and things started changing my reality. This is then after I confessed to her, but it did not quite go the way I wanted to. To be honest, I think she's actually into me, but things happen, and now there's no way she can come back, and so it's kind of a fumble, kind of a soft fumble, but it's all right. If we're meant to be, we're supposed to be. So she was meant to be my catalyst, and I think I was meant to help her in her mind out a little bit, actually. So it all works out. The point is to learn not to give your power and get lost in that. When you feel like you're loving someone, remember, it's your love you're feeling. It's your connection you're feeling. They don't have the power over you. You don't have to do everything they say. You don't have to beg for their attention to get that feeling of love back. Some people, and I'm not saying anyone's doing this, but and who in my stories, I'm not saying this is anyone that anyone's doing, but in my life, but some people could take advantage of that. They could give out a little bit of this, a little bit of that, get you feeling those lovey-doveys, and get gotcha. Take a little bit away, get you feeling the void, and you come running back, get you, and they got you, and then they can live off of your energy. Their life starts getting better while you're just getting tagged along, right? Not even knowing what's going on. We don't want that. We don't want that. The point is to know that when you fall for somebody, if it's a crush, if you're a person that crushes like me all the time, you just look at it. Oh, I can tell when it's happening. I can see someone just randomly out in public. Oh, I would crush on her if I was around her every day. Let me get out of here. You know what I mean? But now I know different. And so when it happens, I just know there's something about this person that we connect on a underlying level. And it could be interesting to figure out what it is about. It doesn't have to be relationship-wise or anything. I'm just feeling my own connection when I'm around this person. So that tells me, piques my interest in some way, but it's my connection, so they have no power over me. I can feel that lovey-dovey feeling, what I used to only get when I would fall for somebody naturally. I can feel that just by sitting by myself and concentrating for a little bit. So I keep my power, and then I have to have a new belief system for what actually falling in love with. And people will say rising in love instead, and I kind of like that. But I feel like there's a better way to look at it. So your love, you're connected to your higher self, your most ever-changing timelines, so you're feeling excitement, love, unconditional love, gratitude, just fun, just giddiness, just energetic. You're just feeling that sweet pre-orgasmic feeling, if you want to take it that far. You're really feeling good, and it's you and never somebody else. So something depresses you for some reason, it's never somebody else. Or you already find yourself in a lower state, and then someone comes along and they make you feel really good. Don't get attached to them, thinking that they're the reason you're feeling good. You're just turned around. It's always your own feeling of connection that you're feeling. And who are you giving the reins to? Because either unaware belief systems or whatever. So, I said way more than I wanted to say on that, pretty sure. But I tend to do that, and my higher self has been telling me just to post them anyway. Because even if it just helps one person out, even for 3 seconds, they get an epiphany for 3 seconds, then it's worth it. So, plus it helps me to get my thoughts out on tape and put them all in this Weed Talks file. If I ever need to go back and see my growth and see how I used to think, I can see it being a tool for that too. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you sat through all this shit about Mantwawns' crush-o-matic lifestyle, that the universe is basically just going to keep on giving me these girls that I was going to fucking fall for until I realized that I wasn't falling for them. I was coming into my own self, and I just had it all turned around. And it took this last one for me to figure it out. And now I figured it out. Not only during that process that I figured it out, and the probably about 7 months it took me to get over this girl, and then a whole about year now altogether, because I was always waiting for her. I had this feeling that she would get over whatever it was, and she would finally tell me her truth. But I could have just been going crazy. My intuition, maybe it was not as good as I thought it was. Who knows? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I have my heart in the right place now, and I have my beliefs in the right place, and I'm free. And I now, finally, 42 years old, finally, am ready for a real relationship. No one showed me what a real relationship will look like in my life. Nobody. I had no basis to go off of in my life from born to now to show me what a real relationship looks like. Now that's maybe a little too harsh. Even if this relationship has got some issues, it's still a real relationship. But you know what I mean, like the relationship that I would prefer. Okay. Fucking 30 minutes. Shit.